Hey there, my fellow builders, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, episode 64, Glazier. What are your guys' thoughts on the possibility of like a more complex bloomery or kiln, which does not need rebuilding every time? I've seen that as like a somewhat regular suggestion. But, curious what your thoughts are. Oh, what the frickin'... Oh, right, they just came out of the forge. Okay, fair play. The bloomeries, rather. They're hot. But cutting them in half kills all of the heat. Gotta love it. So, might need to do some gentle punching to figure out where the actual windows are. Also, I needed to grab my slabs and didn't. But I'm not actually using up any total glass here. I'm just moving where the glass is placed so it's drifter proof. And as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but like as far as I know, the plants don't care if you have snow on your glass. The greenhouses work whether the greenhouses don't care. That's my understanding, that they grow even if you're snowed in. And I know you can place the glass on them. I just didn't want to screw it up. There we go. Double paned, but they're not staying that way. Yeah, snow lets light in. Cool. So now removing this, I have to be careful only to punch one hole, not two. And then to actually, like, pick the materials back up, because glass isn't free. I might leave the slabs in, because they look nice as beams. And I should be able to stick lanterns on it, too. So if I do this correctly, I should have 96... Oh. That's a bit weird. If I do this correctly, I should have, like, 96 glass when I refund everything. If I don't miss anything. And hopefully, those that are viewing didn't make the same mistake as I did in setting up the greenhouse. But if you did, this is one way to fix it without making your greenhouse all of a sudden very cold. So I'm missing one pane somewhere. Oh God, what a pain. Come on, pane, where are you? Did I not punch it out? I punched it out. I don't know where it went. There it is. I'll fix it. Don't you worry. Making the same mistakes. I kind of wish that the directionality of the block on your toolbar, like, it wouldn't rotate on its own. That you had to put it in the crafting grid to rotate it. Because then I would avoid these issues that I continually make. I'm also out of slabs. So I'm going to need to craft some more up. Do I even have the materials for that? A few. Well, this is what it will look like once it's done the other side. So it's a higher roof, which actually makes it look more airy and nice. And it's drifter proof up there. So I don't have to worry about drifter boys trying to eat me or anything. Whatever they do, I'm not even sure. I'm going to go with eat. They seem cannibalistic to me. It's a nice view that we got going on. I like it. And then once I'm done fixing up the greenhouses, I will put some windows in the smithy and in the main hallway. And it looks like setting up a kitchen is going to be the next task, which will involve me... I already have the quarn, but it will involve me moving mechanical power from the quarn, or from the windmill, to where we want the quarn. So the thought is, actually, I don't know how you guys think about this, but where the sort of main hallway is right now, having that be sort of the kitchen. Either that or having a dedicated area for it. I'll have you guys vote on that. Where exactly did I put the last lantern that I put on the other side? On the far? Okay. now to collect my glass. So I should have 32 in the second slot once it's done. So all I have left to do, well, is fix up the apiary a little bit. Oh, I already have the 32. So where to move the stairs? Because that will be like a mini project, won't take me very long. So the thinking is I could have the stairs just moved to the sides. So like have a stairwell here, left and right on the sides, so it's less intrusive. So 2 stairwells to the side. Alternatively, I could move the stairwells so it ascends here, moving the crucible fire pit. So in the smithy, and then lastly, and that would be like a vertical one. Lastly, I could have the stairwells over here. So between, and include this area into the base. That would be a slightly larger project, but have the stairwells ascend somehow over here instead. So near the apiary. Same place, but facing the smithy, I could do that too. All right, so let's go ahead and fix the windows up here. It's gonna be slightly harder because of the pattern. I might just, for my sanity, remove the snow. Oops. Sorry, bees. Punch too hard. Luckily, it's not like the bees die or anything. They just go dormant. This might be one of the cases where I remove the cobble slabs where they are now, and so that I conserve some cobble slabs, because I'm not going to have enough cobble slabs for the entire area to be double wide. I only have 23 spare. Have to go mining. Those little bees down there don't know the efforts I go to making them happy. It's just too bad that, like, as far as the game's concerned, every time I harvest honey, I kill them. JD, thank you for the resub. I've been enjoying your World Gen screenshots. The variety of World Gens that you've managed to find are fascinating. You know, I went with, like, first seed here, so I didn't do much world building. I just went with whatever the game gave me, for the most part. better for worse. You know, I take it back. I really do like the multi-slab height. So I'm going to make more slabs for the apiary. It's definitely more attractive. You know, I just realized, maybe some of you already knew this. If you want a tree to potentially take root, what you could do is you could make a greenhouse for the tree and not have it as a greenhouse, like have a gap in the roof, and where the temperature is just below it's you know, it's on the bottom end of its safe temperature for vernalization, and then you enclose the greenhouse on the third day, triggering vernalization. That'd be a pretty good way to, like, mechanically promote vernalization for tree greenhouses. Because one of the advantages of the greenhouse, of course, is that it raises its the ambient temperature, and I think that might work for vernalizing trees if you want to promote fruit trees. How beginning friendly is this game? That's a good question. There's a lot of game mechanics at play, so it's complicated, but it's not necessarily overly difficult. So it's one of those games, like, you're gonna have to use the in-game handbook and wiki, or, like, a YouTube series, perchance, to really sort of get what's going on initially, I think. But yeah. So it's hard, but not... There's not a lot of, like, punishing game mechanics to it that, you might get unlucky with, like, a wolf here or there, but it's probably not one of those situations where there's not a skill ceiling. The game, survival is mostly knowledge-based, not skill-based. I'll put it that way. I think that's a good way to phrase it. So there's a low skill ceiling, but a high knowledge ceiling. And a lot of what you need to do to initially succeed is not obviously... It's not going to be obvious to a new player. But going in blind and making mistakes is a perfectly reasonable way to learn the game. Just know that your first attempt or two might be a wash. And that's normal. Alright, you guys want some sort of, like, apiary staircase, so I'll do that. What to work on next? Alright, that's done. Now a few punch-outs for... Oh. Let me do this differently. Gonna make a few holes for windows. And then we'll be... Oh, wait, we already voted on that. My bad. Setting up a kitchen. Duh. Let me get rid of that. So, windows. I'll do this section as a window. And then this section is a window. So question for you all. Where to build a kitchen? We can have it in the main second floor hallway. So that would be the room that I'm currently staring at. A wing off of the smithy. Below the smithy. Or other viewer suggestions. So all of these suggestions that I offered are like close to the mechanical wheels, so that it wouldn't require a lot of axles to get it working. So a wing off of the smithy could be left or right of the smithy, or both. You know, I could hypothetically have alcohol and distillation one direction, and then grain and a bakery the other direction. Below the smithy, because I have mechanical power running below the smithy, would be around here. I could have a kitchen in this area. You know, or this room here could be a kitchen where I could line stoves along the walls. So yeah, you guys can decide that. Let's put these windows in. Maybe I'll have the other part of the smithy punched out with windows. I just want to save some glass for the kitchen, too. IRL, my kitchen is definitely the brightest room of the house, because I like to see what I'm doing. A well-lit kitchen is a necessity for me as a cook. If it's dark in my kitchen, I'm pissed. So yeah, I'm just gonna have this center section for now. Possibly the other indented sections will become glassed in the future, but not this iteration. Alright, it looks like below the smithy is possibly the popular choice here. Before we do that, more windows. And if I'm not mistaken, quick audit, yeah, it looks like the entire base, apart from the top of the windmill, is drifted proof. There's no valid spots for them to spawn nearby. So let's move this staircase. Oh, I don't have a shovel, do I? And then work on the kitchen. So the thought was to have the staircase, I could even have it L-shaped, maybe. Go up like this to a landing. And then up again. And that would make the cellar even more cellar-like. It might require a few trial and error iterations to get it feeling and looking right. So we'll see about that. I think what I need is just to bite the bullet and make myself a shovel. I know a pick can do this too, but shovels are the ideal tool. So let's do a quick shovel, because that's getting annoying. Speaking of annoying, Yoda, why are you barking your head off? Our current priority is work on moving the staircase and make a kitchen. So below the smithy, I can, I had designed this to have multiple health hammers at some point. What I can do is I can have a axle coming off the back of this going down into a smithy. Now the only issue that we're going to run into initially is that these rot barrels, I don't want to move, right? I want to wait until they become compost. So some of these rot barrels, compost barrels, are just going to be in the way until they fulfill their purpose. But if you can forgive the rot barrel intrusion, we can start to set up a kitchen around it. So yeah, I kind of like the... I guess it will be one of these situations where, like, we'll see after using it a lot if the L-shaped gets annoying or not. But having it be on both sides and then moving this ladder so it's I'm not bumping up against it. We'll see if it's a place that you know, a design that works for us in the future. Well, I think it works. Would moving them disrupt the purpose? Yeah, it would. If you move a barrel, you move a barrel empty. So anytime you move a barrel, you're like essentially just destroying its contents. Which is what I do with the leather working pretty often. So what other tool am I going to need? Probably hammer, maybe, for the other one with the ingots that are warmed up. Because this hammer's about half durability, and hammer and pick are the two tools you do not want to run out of, I would say. Because if you run out of a hammer, then you can't break down nuggets to create more materials. So it's real obnoxious to be without one. All right, there we go. Some spares. This also sort of means that our hallway is going to remain a hallway. It's probably for the best, this area. I could always have storage chests in here of like commonly used stuff, and then have the cellar down below be the sort of like deep storage of the things I don't need often. So then we want fertility blocks and more claystone. So let's do some claystone mining for the floors so that I can finish, or claystone, do some granite rock mining so that I can finish the flooring. You spent all morning playing this game? You blame me? That's okay. I like being blamed for things. I accept. It's funny. I generally don't tell people the games to buy. I just play them. I'll let you guys sort of direct how I play them, and then if you like them, you know. But yeah, I'm always sort of curious, like how many units are actually sold, thanks to me playing them or recommendations or whatever. Because I don't actively tell people like, oh, these are my favorite games. Like some of the ones they play the most often, obviously I probably enjoy the most. One could make that assumption. And I do make an effort for at least the games I choose to play. Obviously, this is a viewer choice one, so it's not completely applicable, but I do tend to avoid playing games I just don't care for. And I'm pretty vocal about games that I think are crap. Or games that are going in the wrong direction, or games developed by sort of like abusive developers, because that happens as well. Like developers that are hostile towards their community or consumers or customers. Unfortunately, there's a bit of that. There's definitely a lot of like developers that just are like, our game's not bad, it's the community that's bad. It's like, dude. No. That is a dude no moment. Alright, so that's some more path blocks. We'll see how far this gets us. So, the only issue I see is that the stairwells terminate, so I'm going to want to move this pine door to be more flush with it. I can rework that in the future. It's not critical. Also, I should remove all the snow that's here, because like now I have a ceiling. Snow won't accumulate, so if I get rid of it, it will stay gone, because I got a roof. Wait, what? I don't want to destroy the slab. I want to get rid of the snow. The game's like, there's not snow here. Fine. Keep that snow. You know what? No. Wrong. I will win this fight against your impossible to remove snow. It's gonna bother me if I don't. So the only area that I might have be a full block in this path is here, because it will not line up with the stairwell, right? If I don't. And the movement speed loss is negligible enough that I just don't care. But yeah, obviously I'm going to need more path blocks. And in fact, the entire room underneath me at some point will need it. Well, I'll leave this the way it is, and I'll have only one way up. And then if we want to mirror it on both sides, that's a bigger project. That's out of scope of what I'm currently doing. So I'm just going to build one stairwell for now. And if we want 2 stairwells in the future, I can do 2, but it requires me to move the wall of this building over, which is more work than I'm willing to commit to at the moment. So just have it look like that. I'll have to do. All right. Actually, this isn't roofed over. Mayhaps I just toss a little roof on there so it doesn't become a snowed-in area. I also feel like I'm more likely to fall on those two spots because they're just odd gaps. There we go. So we have sort of a main hallway room that's illuminated. This I'll fix at some point. But right now I want to work on the kitchen. I've diverted enough attention to other things. So the first thing that we need to figure out is how we want to move mechanical power to the floor below. Right? Because this is our, you know, if we're going to have a quarn in the kitchen, we'll want mechanical power to it. And it will be an angled gear coming off of here and then like going down. I'm assuming. How many more? I don't know if I have very many more axles or anything of that nature. So that's one wooden axle, one angle gear. So it's not much. So we're going to have to make some. We're going to have to whip some up. Which means I need animal fat, which means I need to hunt, which is a whole thing probably to be done in the daytime because it's nighttime right now and I'm not going to get very far or hunt very much with low vis. I do have, I've been marking down where I've been finding sheep, so it shouldn't be too bad to get some animal fat. But yeah, that will be first order business, I think. So what is directly beneath this stone path? Probably a barrel? Yep. So I could... The cheapest way to do this is gonna look a little strange, but I'll do it very cheaply the first time, and then we can like improve upon it, especially when those barrels get removed and moved somewhere nicer. Because I hadn't really intended for this location to be a kitchen. It just got voted on that. So like I could try to do a full block here and then stick the quarn on top. And it'll look funky as hell, but it will work. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, which originally streamed live on Twitch January 11th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch ya next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.